Don't you worry, the clip's about to begin, but don't forget to subscribe. Or else, don't make me turn this website around.
So we do have another caller, Emma. She's an atheist from California. She needs a perspective from Laura about the loss of faith. So this is directly for you there, Laura. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yep, I think she meant Laura, and I was like, who's Laura?
Yeah. Hi, Emma. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing pretty
Thanks
good.
for calling, Emma. What do you want to talk about today?
Thank you so much for taking my call. Sorry, I guess I'm still just a little bit in shock of, being on the air and whatever. But I have been recently, really struggling with my faith. I still go to a Mennonite founded school, a college, and I would consider myself an atheist right now, but I'm still, going through kind of just the hard process of losing your faith. And I was just wondering, for you, Lauren, what have you, what do you think helped you the most with getting through that process? And I don't know. I guess that's it.
Yeah, Emma. So again, thanks for calling in. We have a couple courageous callers tonight. It's super important to be able to talk about this. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I think I had kind of a unique situation in that I was a Christian up through the end of college, like a year after college, and I was not, dependent financially or anything on my family. So it was kind of safe for me to explore my faith more. And then when I finally realized that I didn't believe in God anymore, I knew I wasn't going to bring myself any sort of harm in terms of losing a place to live or food or, stuff like that. So I guess my first question for you would be, are you in a position where you would feel safe to explore that further and maybe talk about it with friends or family a little bit more?
I think, I've already mentioned to my parents that I'm struggling with my faith, and but I am financially able to afford college without their help right now. However, the school that I'm going to gives me a really big scholarship, so I don't know if I'd be able to, go somewhere else where I'd get more of a secular education, and I think that's part of, the struggle for me right now.
Yeah, and you said you're at a Mennonite school, correct?
Yeah, you don't have to be a Christian to be there, but everything's faith-based, and I'm a music education major, and so the music program I'm a part of is really small. The school's really small in general, but so all my friends there are Christians. So
Yeah, that is really tough. Just thinking back to when I was first deconverting, I sort of had to feel out, which friends I thought would be open to me talking about it and working through that journey with myself, and then which ones I knew, okay, if I tell you this now, you're gonna basically shun me. So I think you sort of have to figure out what's more worth it to me. Are there certain friendships that I am okay with leaving behind if I am my full self and kind of come out with deconverting, or would I rather preserve some of those friendships until I'm done with school and we can have more of that distance from each other. So yeah, it's really tough. I'm sorry that you're in that situation. That's, definitely complex. But I think like the best thing that I did was talked through that process with people I knew had already deconverted. Like, you're calling us right now, which is great. And then even just looking up deconversion stories online and hearing how other people sort of got through that, it made me feel a lot less alone. Matt Dillahunty, his times that he hosted the Atheist Experience years and years ago was actually like a huge reason that I was able to accept that, accept that I didn't believe in God anymore. And yeah, talking to people always helps. And again, I don't know what your friendships are like, and I don't know, if it's more important to you to just like come out with it, or if you wanted to wait. Like, I guess, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, so thankfully my friends are more accepting, they're LGBTQ accepting, which I think has been a big factor of like why I lost my faith. So thankfully I don't have to fear with that, and I know they're still my friends. I guess it's just hard. I worry about, not being able to be my authentic self, kind of like the last caller said. And, just as he said, it's amazing to just be able to say all of this out loud. I haven't really talked to anyone about it besides my therapist. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know if we answered your question or or were able to help at all, but is there anything else specific that you wanted to talk about?
I I'll think I think I'll let you guys go, and I got out of this call what I needed, so thank you so much.
Great. Thanks so much for calling, and I wish you luck, Emma.
Yeah, thanks for calling in there.
You
Emma.
guys have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, you too.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to handle that, because it seemed like she wanted to talk to you kind of specifically about it. So that's why I kind of let you handle that. But I know for me the hardest thing coming out of religious faith was admitting to myself that I was an atheist, because being raised in the South and being raised deeply religious, like that was the hardest hurdle. Me becoming okay with not believing in God, because I'd always been taught that you need to believe in God, or you should believe in God, my entire life. So it had never actually been brought up to me the possibility that God didn't exist. And so once I overcame that hurdle, it seemed to become a lot easier. But one big difference between me and Emma is that I didn't come to to leave religion until I was well into like college, and I already, was in a house. I was already married the first time, and so I was in a completely different situation. So I hope that she can eventually end up talking with people either online or in her real life. So I hope that she can get that kind of help.
Hey, thanks for checking out this clip for The Line. While you're here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then share this with that bitter uncle of yours who loves talking about the good old days.